Yat Hashem, Parashat Mishpatim. In Parashat Mishpatim, towards the end of the parasha, right? Moshe Rabbeinu is presenting the Torah to Am Israel. He's teaching them. He's starting with the laws of Eved Ivri. He's touching the monetary laws, Shor, Shenagach et Apara, all those things, right? At the end, ויבוא משה, ויספר לעם את כל דברי השם, ואת כל המשפטים. He's teaching them all the laws that he was learning in Sinai. ויען כל העם כל אחד, ואמרו כל הדברים אשר דיבר השם נעשה. So everybody said, whatever Hashem said, נעשה. We'll do. Right? So ויכתוב משה את כל דברי השם, and Moshe Rabbeinu writes down everything, right? He writes down from, Rashi says, מברשית ועד מתן תורה. He starts to write בראשית ברא אלוקים את השמיים ואת הארץ, פרשת נוח, נוח איש צדיק להם ודורותיו, אלה שמות בני ישראל. He writes everything, the whole Torah, like Hashem dictates to him, word for word, right? Letter for letter, everything, till Matan Torah, till this parasha. And then the Gemara and Baba Batra argue, there's a discussion, how did they write the rest of the Torah? Was it like page by page, every time a small piece, or Hashem dictated the whole thing, right? Don't have Kamina right now, but this is what he did till now. He was writing the whole Torah till Parashat Mishpatim. Then, וישלח את נערי בני ישראל, he sent the young Kohanim, ויעלו עולות, they were bringing sacrifices, ויזבחו זבחים, שלמים, להשם פרים. Then Moshe Rabbeinu takes the blood of the sacrifices, he חצי אדם, he divides it in half, and Rashi says, how is it possible to divide in half a dam? So Rashi says, בא מלאך, an angel came and cut he separated two bloods in the same kli, in two, right? Lavdi like Kriyat Yamsuf, and they say, what was the idea? Because half of it is going to be sprinkled on the Mizbeach, and half of it is going to be sprinkled al-Am, on the people. Why? To teach them the Torah has two parts. The Torah has Ben Adam LaMakom and Ben Adam LaChavero. So that's why they say, when he presented the Torah, the Mishpatim and everything, the Torah means the first part of the Torah, it was Ben Adam LaMakom. What did they say? Kol asher diber Hashem naaseh. They didn't say naaseh v'nishma. After he sprinkled the blood on them, right? After he sprinkled them, vayamru kol asher diber Hashem naaseh v'nishma. When it came to Ben Adam LaMakom, they said naaseh. They didn't understand much. Means, yeah, okay, it is what it is. When they came Ben Adam lechavero, right, that you're supposed to watch out not to hurt your friend, your shore and should not hurt somebody else, poteach bo b'shut harabim, all those things. Na'aseh v'nishma. Now then we're willing to understand a little bit more what did all those laws entitle, right? And then Vayal Moshe v'Aaron Nadav v'Avihu v'shiknim Israel. They start to go on the mountain. Each one goes to his level, right? So a little bit less, and Moshe Rabbeinu goes all the way to the top. And then as they do all those preparation, ויראו את אלוהי ישראל, ותחת רגליו כמעשה לבנת הספיר, וכעצם השמיים לתואר. They were זוכה to see at that moment, they were זוכה to see the Shekhinah. They were זוכה to see כיסא הכבוד. And what do they see? They see like a throne, and under somebody is like sitting on top of it. They cannot see Hashem, right? Right? And they see tachat raglav, as if in the place where you're supposed to put your feet, they see levena, they see a brick. And this brick was made out of sapphire, a very precious gem, right? Sapir. Uketzem hashamayim latoar, and it was like shining. This levena was shining. What was this brick all about? What is it doing here? So Rashi says, היא הייתה לפניו בשעת השעבוד, לזכור צרתם של ישראל, שהיו משועבדים במעשה לבנים. When Am Israel were working in the bricks, building the pyramids, and they were suffering, if they didn't do the right amount of bricks, they were getting hit, right? Their babies were shoved into the wall. All the suffering that happened because of they had to run, the second period, they had to run and get some straw and prepare the bricks and everything. Hashem took a brick, and he put it in front of him to participate, as if to say, in their tsa'ar, in their suffering, right? Just by then, it was like a regular brick. Now that they came out, it started shining. This brick started shining. So basically, what is Hashem trying to give a message to them? You know, when you were suffering, I was suffering with you. You were not suffering alone. I was with you. I felt what you felt. There was a gzerah, there was a decree that you have to work there, right? But don't think I just ignored you or something, Chas v'shalom, and just woke up 210 years later. I was the whole time with you guys. I was the whole time feeling what you feel, right? I was betzar for what you're going through, right? So from here, Hashem is teaching us that a person should always be mishtatef betzar chavero. And we're going to understand now, a little bit, try to understand, what does it mean mishtatef betzar chavero? There's two interesting Gemarot. There's a Gemara in Shabbat. The Gemara is in Daf Nun Hey. The Gemara says the following thing. The Gemara says that Rav Yehuda vayativ kamed Shmuel. Rav Yehuda was a Talmid of Shmuel. So he was sitting in front of him, and Shmuel was teaching him Gemara, whatever he's teaching him. Ata iteta, a lady came, katzavcha kame velo amar mashgach ba. She started crying. Rabbi, help me, I need help, Rabbi. And Shmuel says, no, you're bothering us. Don't bother us. We were in the middle of learning. He was pushing her away. So Rav Yehuda, right? He told, אמר לו, לא סבר למר, אותם אוזנו מזעקת דל, גם הוא יקרא ולא יענה? He told him, Rabbi, you're not choishish that when you're going to call Hashem, Hashem is going to tell you, don't bother me, I'm busy now, right? The same way you don't want to listen to her, Hashem is not going to listen to you. You're not scared of that? So, Amar le shinena, he told them, my dear Talmid, Reishach bekariri, me, it's not going to affect me. Whoever is going to affect really, Reisha de Reishach, your head of the head, which means my Rebbe, Rav Nachman, he's going to have to deal with it. It's not my business. She wants to go to scream to somebody, let her go to the Av Beis Din. Who is Av Beis Din? Rav Nachman. What does she want from me? Why is she coming to me? Let her go to cry in front of Rav Nachman, right? Okay. So that's how do you call this? Sorry, there was Mar Ukva. Mar Ukva was the Rosh Beis Din. That's the Gemara. Then there's another Gemara. Apparently has no shayachut, has nothing to do with it, but interesting to spot. The Gemara says in Baba Batra, Daf Yud Amud Bet, the Gemara says, Rav Yosef bered Rav Yeshua chalash. There was Rav Yosef, son of Rav Yeshua. He was very sick. And then Ingid, right? And then he cured. It means he came back to himself. So he's like almost about to die, and he comes back to himself. Amar le Avua, so Rav Yeshua, the father of Yosef, asked him, "My chazit, like I saw you were already gone. Like you saw him, maybe he was clinically dead. Like I saw you were gone. So basically, if you're up there already, what'd you see? Amar le olam afuch raiti. I saw everything upside down. Elyonim lemata, the one who very important over here, they're down. V'tachtonim lemala, right? And the ones that are down in this world, up there, they're very important. So basically, the very important people down here are down there. Over there, they're considered down. And the down people who are down over here, they're up there, they're up. Amar le, so his father told them, Olam barur ra'ita. Right? It's exactly what's going to be in Olam Haba. So basically, you did not see the opposite, right? This is exactly what's going on in Olam Haba. Somebody who's suffering in this world, somebody's put down in this world. All this, when he comes there, it becomes high level. Somebody who thinks he's big in this world, he comes down up there is a small level. This is the Gemara. Then comes Tosfot over here, and he says, Elyonim lemata, tachtonim lemata, tachtonim lemala. Piresh Rabbeinu Hananel. Rabbeinu Hananel is one of the Rishonim, right? When the Mishnah Berurah mentions Rabbi Hananel, every time he says, wow, Baruch Hashem, we were zochet to the parish of Rabbi Hananel on the Shas. Because Rabbi Hananel they didn't find his Ktavim. They found it very late, the Ktavim. After this, the new Shas, they started to print Rabbeinu Hananel on the side of the Gemarot, whatever they found, right? And the Mishnah Berurah, every time he mentions Rabbi Hananel, he says, oh, Baruch Hashem, that we're zochet to Rabbi Hananel. So says Rabbi Hananel, Tosef brings down Rabbi Hananel, the Amru HaGeonim, the Rabbi Hananel, which was the Rishonim, brings in the name of the Geonim, the generation before him, Shekabbalah beyadam, they have a Kabbalah, Rav mipi Rav. The Geonim have a Kabbalah, Rav mipi Rav, the Olam Afuch, what was this olam hafuch that Rabbi Yeshua, right? That Rabbi Yosef bered Yeshua saw, olam hafuch שראה שמואל, או שראה שמואל דהווייתיו כמה דרב יהודה תלמידי. What did he see up there? He goes to the yeshivas, he goes around. What does he see? All of a sudden he sees Shmuel, the Rebbe, sitting in front of Rav Yehuda. And over there, who is the Rebbe? Rav Yehuda is the Rebbe, Shmuel is the Talmid. Olam hafuch. In this world, Shmuel was the Rebbe, Rav Yehuda was the Talmid. Over there, what does he see? Hafuch. He sees Rav Yehuda teaching Shmuel, right? So he saw, why? Why, says Tosfot? Mishum demicha b'Shmuel. Because he rebuked his Rebbe, and he told him, Rebbe, you don't care about this lady. She's screaming, she's crying. You cannot help her. He says, wow, what does she want from me? Let her go to Mo'ukva. Let him take care of her. It's not my business. Because he told them this, in the next world, they changed positions. Shmuel became the Talmid, Rav Yehuda became the... What do you see? And this is Kabbalah me'geonim rav mipi rav. Rabbeinu Hanan Rishon says, me'geonim rav mipi rav. What do you see? You cannot say, I don't care. It's not my business. I cannot do anything about it. So what should you do? Well, true. Well, what should you do? The thing is, we should try at least to listen to the person. Just by listening, right? Just by listening, you're making him feel good. I'll tell you personally, I went with my wife to a doctor, right? And we were sitting there in the entrance. Comes a lady. She looks Jewish. I think she, if I'm not mistaken, old lady. I think she had the Magen David. I'm not sure even, but she looked very Jewish, you know. And she started to say, "Oh, you know, I come from very far to this doctor, but it's a good doctor." She started saying, you know, ladies talk. So my wife told her, "Oh, yeah, man." And my wife started to talk to her, and apparently she comes from a very, very important family in Poland. Her father was a Rav, her grandfather was a Rav, and they were Chashuv, right? And she says that unfortunately, she was religious. Unfortunately, she lost her husband, and she got remarried. And her husband, the second husband, is not religious, and she's trying to keep the religion, so she's trying as much as she could with him. She's not pushing too much, and she started to talk. You know, ladies talk. At the end, what is she telling my wife? She was talking like 10 minutes, and my wife did just listening to her. She told my wife, you know, I have to thank you for listening. No one ever sat and listened to me. You were sitting and listening to me. She told me, wow, no one listened to me. She says, no one has patience to listen to me. And you were sitting and listening to my whole story. She had to pour it out, you know? So what can she help her? What can she help her? She cannot help her nothing, but she needed to talk. She needed to talk. And you listen to somebody who wants to talk, you help them, right? So Shmuel should have told her, Bezrat Hashem, you know, it'd be okay. You know, maybe if you go to my Rebbe, Rav Ukva, maybe he can help you. You know, we'll try. You want me to talk? So yeah, he couldn't help her, right? But don't just ignore. Don't just ignore, right? That's what Hashem is trying to show them. You know, the Levena, the brick was down there. Means you cannot do anything. The Gzera is the Gzera. They have to go there. They have to go through this. They have to go through this Galus. They have to go through this Shibud, right? Working hard with the bricks and everything. And Hashem couldn't stop this. This is the Gzera, right? But at least Hashem, He says, I feel for you. I feel your pain. I'm with you. A person is supposed to care a little bit. Don't just ignore. Whatever you can do, just show at least you're listening, right? Not to ignore. So I'll give you a few stories. It says that the Chafetz Chaim, right? The Chafetz Chaim, one time somebody came to him and he had a very rare sickness. It's one of the boys of the yeshiva. And he was crying to the Chafetz Chaim. He said, Rebbe, pray for me and everything. So the Chafetz Chaim told him, listen, I'm going to give you a name of a Rav. I want you to travel to this Rav. When you're going to travel to the hospital, it's on the way to the Rav. I want you to stop over there, and I want you to ask a bracha from this Rav. If he gives you a bracha, Bezrat Hashem, you're going to be okay. So the student had a little bit of hope. You know, the Chafetz Chaim told him he cannot do much for him, but he had a little bit of hope. So as he was traveling to the hospital, and he passed by the city of this Rav, he went off the station, and he went to see the Rav. The Rav was an old man. He was a very old man. And when he came, he was like sleeping. And then he woke up. He gave him a bracha. He says, B'ezrat Hashem, everything should be okay and everything. And the boy took the train and he went to think. The Chafetz Chaim told him, before he left, told him, I'm warning you. I want you to go to this Rav, and Bezrat Hashem, you're going to be well. But you can never say, I told you to go to this Rav. Never talk about it. If you cure, Bezrat Hashem, never talk about it. Don't say the Chafetz Chaim told me to go to this Rav, and never talk about it.
How do we know about it?
Huh?
Then how do we know about
Okay. So what happened was, Baruch Hashem, he went, he got operated, and it went well, and he cured completely. Baruch Hashem, this boy got married, he had children, everything was perfect. One time, his sister-in-law got the same sickness that he had. Sister-in-law she got the same machla as he had. And the whole family were saying Tehillim and everybody. So one time, he told wife, oh, it's exactly what he had. And Baruch Hashem, he got out of it. So I said, what? You had the same thing? How'd you get out of it? He said, oh, I'm sorry, I cannot tell you. His wife said, what do you mean you cannot tell me? He says, listen, I really cannot tell you. And she was pushing and pushing, days, she was pushing. At the end, he couldn't take the pressure anymore. And he told her what happened. A few months later, he fell sick again with the same achla. So the Chafetz Chaim was still alive, but very old already. And right away, he ran to the Chafetz Chaim. He ran to the Chafetz Chaim and he told them what happened. So he told them, Rebbe, please tell me exactly again to go to the Rebbe. And so he told him, no, I cannot do anything for you. He says, why, Rebbe? He says, why can't I go to the other Rav? He says, the other Rav is not living anymore, right? But I have to tell you something. The other Rav, I just sent you for a bracha, but really what happened was, I fasted for you 40 days. After he left the Chafetz Chaim took upon himself to fast 40 days for this Bachar. So he fasted 40 days for the Bachar, but he didn't want to tell him he's fasting for him. What he said, oh, go to this Rav to get a bracha. But it's really not the bracha of the Rav. It's the fasting of the Chafetz Chaim, right? So you see, the Chafetz Chaim wanted to, like, I cannot do anything for you, but at least I'll send you to a Rav. He is going to give you a bracha. If you go to this Rav, he's going to give you a bracha. Means he wanted to show him that, he cares about him and he does something for him. Really, more than he cares. He really fasted 40 days for him. And that time, when the boy came the second time, the Chafetz Chaim told him he's too old. He cannot fast 40 days again for him. So it was left like this. But to tell you, when somebody comes to you and he cries for you and even tell him, go to this, I heard about this rabbi is Mekubal, or this Rav is Bracha, or this doctor. Do something. Don't just ignore. Right? What the Chafetz Chaim is not a doctor. What want him to do? But he sent him, bedavka, to this Rav, without telling him this is fasting for him. Really, he started with this tsar. 40 days to fast for a Talmud, it's a lot, right? But the Chafetz Chaim felt the tsar, right? Another thing, sometimes, not always, sometimes people feel, okay, it's the other guy, so, yeah, Nebuch, right? Rav Shvadron, Mordechai Shvadron, right? One time he was sitting on his balcony, and his balcony was giving a view on a park, on a children's park. And he saw that one of the kids, he climbed the slide, and he fell off the steps. Climbing the slide, he fell off the steps, and he saw his knee, his hand gushing blood. So he ran. He right away he ran out of his house, and he came to the boy to take him to a tzala or something just to stop the blood. So as he was running towards the boy, one of the neighbors, the ladies, saw him. He says, Mordechai, Bezrat Hashem, everything is going to be okay. Don't worry, everything is going to be okay. She was telling everything is going to be okay. Like she was saying, As he was taking the boy and running, what it comes to be, it wasn't, he was too old. It wasn't his kid. Who was it? It was the grandchild of this lady. When she saw the kid, when he got close to her house, she saw the kid, she started panicking and screaming, Chaim. She started screaming. So somebody says, 2 minutes ago, he said, it's going to be okay, right? Oh, so your kid, your grandson, you start to scream, right? So it means when it comes to other people, say, Bezrat Hashem. When it comes to you, you panic, right? So, Mishtatev Betzaro doesn't mean to say, Bezrat Hashem, it's going to be okay. Don't worry, it's going to be okay. That's not called Mishtatev Betzaro. Mishtatev Betzaro, you would say Tehillim. How many times you get text? Oh, there's this guy is sick, this guy is dying, this guy is this, say Tehillim, right? So we get so many of them, a lot of times we just swipe them, you know? But MS, if you really care, maybe you don't know who is the guy. You get so many, you don't know who is the people, right? But if you really care for a Yid, right, what you should do is, say Shir LaMa'alot. You know it by heart, Shir LaMa'alot, Esai Nanarim, Yishlach Refuah Shlema leReuven ben Yaakov. Just to show that you care about another Jew, which needs as I imagine, how many Jews are going to say that? For sure, it's going to be a first line. For sure, it's going to be Yeshua. For sure, it's going to be something happening for this Yid. But the problem is, unfortunately, in our generation, you miss so much. You're really tired. So you don't want to see those things anymore, right? But fakir, Hashem for 210 years, right? He was sitting and watching over the Jewish people and caring about them. So he put a brick to remember what's going on in Mitzrayim, right? I want to finish off with a story with something actual, not generation, from the Rav Ovadia Yosef Zatzar. Rav Ovadia Yosef, he had a Kabbalat Kahal, means people. He had, I think it's from 2 to 3 or 2 to 4. I don't remember exactly the hours, but he had Kabbalat Kahal, means people would come and either ask for bracha, Yeshua, something, right? One time, a lady came to him. She was an almana, and she was crying to the Rav. She was crying. So, B'kitzu, each one he gave a bracha, he gave something. The Rav, when the Rav Ovadia Yosef passed away, they saw by the shiva, I think, this lady who came every night, she was crying. So somebody asked her, what's your kesher with Rav Ovadia? What's your connection with Rav Ovadia? So she said she was a young widow, and she came once to Rav Ovadia, and she was telling him she cannot pay her bills and everything. And Rav Ovadia told her that she should come to him every Rosh Chodesh, and he's going to give her an envelope. But he doesn't want the family to know about it. So every Rosh Chodesh she would come, she would stand in line, and Rav Ovadia would give her an envelope. No one knew about it. Like before she said, no one knew about it. So now that Rav Ovadia passed away, she doesn't get the monthly thing. She's again in a little bit of trouble. So the family heard, says, oh wow. What did she do? She went to the caver of Rav Ovadia Yosef. She went to the caver, and she went in the morning early. She stayed there till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. She was sitting there and crying the whole day. She was crying, Rav Ovadia, you cannot leave me. So many years you supported me. She was crying. Tehillim, she was saying that. Coming back home, she was exhausted in the heat, in Israel, in the heat and everything. And she was sitting there. She was crying. She was thirsty. She took something to drink and she sat like on a sofa and she fell asleep. As she falling asleep, what does she see? Rav Ovadia comes in her dream and tells her, yeah, beseder, it's going to be okay. Don't worry. She wakes up. She says, whoa, I was so tired. Probably that's why I saw this thing. But she was so tired, she fell back asleep again. She falls back asleep again. Rav Ovadia comes a second time to her. She told her, on Thursday, go to this hall. There's going to be a Yid with this name, and he's going to help you. I forgot his name. I wrote it somewhere. I forgot his name. This person that she told her to go see is the person that helped Rav Ovadia to put the Lavyan, the satellite, and to give the he's the one initiating the shiurim every Motzei Shabbat in the Yazdim. Forgot his name, Moshe Nidam. So he told her, go to him, and he's going to help you. Okay. So she went to this hall. She She comes there. That's like multi-floor. She goes. She sees a bris, Brit Milah. So she said, "אתה מכיר את משה נידם? לא, אתה מכיר? No one knows who he is, right?" She goes outside. She asks people. So she was standing on the side. And then somebody told them, when this guy came, they told him, oh, somebody was looking for you. Who is it? This lady. So he went over to her and says, why are you looking for me? He says, because Rav Ovadia told me to come to you. Rav Ovadia passed away. He says, exactly, he came to my dream and he told me to see you. The guy became white. So, Makara, what happened? He says, wait. He went over to the Moel. Who is the Moel? Rav Reuven Elbaz. He was the Moel on this Brit. He told him, Rabbi, come over here. You must be with me. I cannot take. He says, Makara. He says, this lady says that Rav Ovadia came in her dream to speak to me. So he asked him, Ma, what's the thing? He says, yeah, Rav Ovadia was supporting me all those years, and he was giving me an envelope every Rosh Chodesh, and now he passed away. I went to pray by him, and he came to me twice, and he told me I have to meet this person, and he's going to help me. This person said, I cannot believe it. Rav Ovadia came to me last night, and he told me I'm going to go to a bris. I'm not shaykhs to the bris. I have no shaykhs to the bris over here. I don't know any people over here. But Rav Ovadia told me I have to come here. I didn't know why, but I said, you know what, I'm going to come. If Rav Ovadia came to my dream and told me I have to come, I'm going to come. I'm coming here, I'm hearing from this lady. So he asked her, Rav Ovadia told me that everything is going to be, I don't know, okay, I don't know what. So this Moshe Nidam, they say, became very rich because Rav Ovadia gave him a bracha. He told him he should be rich. After he helped him with the Lavyan, with pulling Torah all over the world. So he gave him a bracha to be rich and became very rich. So he told the lady, how much was Rav Ovadia giving you a month? So she told him 4,000 shekel. So he told her, listen to me, every month, Rosh Chodesh, you come to me, I'm giving you 8,000. 4,000 for Rav Ovadia, and 4,000 for me. That's what means caring about another almanah. Caring about almanah, he left the world. Rav Ovadia left the world, and he still care about her. He comes in her dream, he comes in this person's dream, he comes to take it. So to me, if you care about people or no, even up there, you'll be still caring about people. And up there, Hashem cares about every Jew. Shabbat shalom.